Hello students, how are you all? I hope all are doing well at homes. So I'm repeating again, please stay at home and stay safe, maintain social distancing and do all those activities which increase your immunity levels, and please start using masks whenever you go outside. Okay, so this is Dr. Ashok Kumar Taduri, and as a part of our online classes, as we already finished the third unit, so today I'm going to start the fourth unit. Okay, so that is stereochemistry, reaction, organic mechanism and synthesis of some drug molecules. Okay, so like earlier, this unit also will be divided into three modules. Okay, like earlier. So if you observe the topics, important topics of this fourth unit, okay, so there are three important topics are there. So one is stereochemistry, second one is the reaction organic mechanism, and the third one is about the synthesis of some drug molecules. First module we will be talking about stereochemistry. Okay, and till now whatever we have learned, most of them are practicable just by following the notes that we have been given. So but from this unit onwards, all the topics require necessary practice and concentration. Okay, so in order to make the topics more understandable, okay, I also added some videos which will be explaining these concepts more easier. What you need to do is to note down the rules as points and try to practice the questions that have been given in the video. Okay, so without doing any further delay, let us enter into the first module, that is stereochemistry. Okay, what is stereochemistry? Stereochemistry is a subdiscipline of chemistry which involves the study of relative spatial arrangement of atoms that form the structure of molecules and their manipulation. So stereochemistry is nothing but how atoms are arranged in any organic molecules, and in order to understand the properties of all these organic molecules, how these structures or the arrangement of atoms are related, how they explain the properties of all organic molecules, the entire study comes under this stereochemistry. Okay, so the study of stereochemistry focuses on stereoisomers, which by definition have the same molecular formula and sequence of bonded atoms but differ in the three-dimensional orientations of their atoms in space. For this reason, it is also known as 3D chemistry. Nothing but the prefix stereo means three-dimensionality. Okay, so stereochemistry means how the chemical molecules are arranged in a three-dimensional pattern, and how this pattern of atoms that are arranged in any organic molecules explains their properties. Okay, the study of all these things comes under stereochemistry. Okay, so in this, the first thing we need to understand is the representation of three-dimensional structures of organic molecules. So how these three-dimensional structures of organic molecules are generally represented by various methods are explained here. So 3D structures are important because they can have big effects on the properties of molecules. In general, shapes of molecules will influence how they react because they determine polarity, that means which can help pull molecule together to react. Polarity also influences the reactivity of molecules. Okay, so the shapes of molecules will influences how they react because they determine polarity and fit. Okay, and shapes of molecules also can have other effects as well. So that's how the three-dimensional structures of organic molecules also explain the properties of those molecules. So that's why if you understand the structures of organic molecules, most of the properties also we can easily understand. Okay, for example, water. Okay, if you see the structure of water, okay, two hydrogens are attached to oxygen and water has a dipole moment because it is bent. Okay, it is an inverted V shape but not linear. If it is linear, then it would not be a great solvent for polar compounds and all life would be completely different. So because of this bent shape of water, because of this shape only, water has a dipole moment, and the dipole moment also responsible for most of the properties of water. So that's why the arrangement of atoms in any organic molecules directly influences the properties of those molecules. Okay, so that is the importance of arrangement of atoms in any organic molecule. Okay, so how the three dimensionality explains in any molecule? So like example, if you see the 3D structure of water. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate you how a three-dimensional structure of organic molecule looks like. Okay, so here I'm using a Chem3D software. Okay, so let us open the Chem3D Pro. Okay, from my computer. So okay, so let us first try the structure 3D structure of water. Okay. Okay, draw the structure of water. Okay, so take two bonds. Okay, two bonds. Okay, let us arrange two hydrogens to these two bonds. Okay, in the middle oxygen. So this is the structure of water, H2O, right? So if you see the 3D structure of water, okay, it is a three-dimensional structure where two hydrogens are linked with bigger red color oxygen. If you that we observe in the that we observe here, so we can rotate it in any axis. So we can see the structure of these atoms in all three directions, like from x-axis, from y-axis, and from z-axis. So the three-dimensional structure is explained here in this 3D software of chemistry. Okay, so we can rotate. So this is a 3D structure, and observe always water looks like a bent shape only. Okay, next the representation methods of 3D structures of molecules. Okay, so the three-dimensional structure of organic molecules were explained by four different projection methods. The first one is called wedge dash notation method, second one is called Newman projections, third one is Sahar's projections, and fourth one is Fisher projections. Okay, so let us go to the first method, that is wedge dash line or wedge dash notation projection method. Okay, the wedge and dash notation is used to represent the three-dimensional structures of molecules using a two-dimensional surface. So this wedge and dash notation that we generally use to represent the three-dimensional structure of any organic molecule, and a two-dimensional structures, shapes or surfaces like a paper. Okay, so when drawing a wedge dash line structure, following bond types are used to show orientation. So there are three types of bonds generally we use in this wedge and dash method. Okay, so first one is wedge bond. Okay, wedge bond generally look like that protrudes forwards towards the viewer, making it come out of the plane of the paper or screen. Okay, so second band is dash band. Okay, this dash band nothing but it protrudes backwards away from the viewer, making it go behind the plane of the paper or screen. Okay, so third type of lines are normal Sali lines. So this normal Sali line represent the bond lies in the plane of the paper or screen. Okay, so like that there are three kinds of bonds are represented in this wedge dash line notation or projection method. Okay, so three types of representations are there in this wedge and dash line method. Okay, so to understand this wedge dash method, so let us draw a molecule in Chem3D software. So here I'm constructing a molecule which is butane is attached with the OH group, OH functional group at second position. So it is 2-hydroxybutane. So if you see the three-dimensional structure which is represented here. Okay, so let us replace the bond with wedge type of bond. Okay, so now the red color ball, okay, indicates us about the OH molecule, OH group alcohol. Okay, so if we observe the three-dimensional arrangement of these wedge bond which is attached to the OH, that OH group is always okay above the plane. Okay, right? So the OH bond is always present between x-axis and z-axis. Okay, so along with the y-axis, right? So if we rotate this molecule, okay, the OH bond always towards us. Okay, so it comes forward to the plane of the surface. Okay, so the bird's eye view also shows that the wedge bonded OH is always towards us, okay, which comes forward. So let us arrange it in a plane mode, okay, in a straight manner. So let us rotate it further. So there are x-axis and z-axis are there. In the middle of this x and z-axis, the OH molecule is present. Okay. So there now, along with the y-axis, the OH is present there. Now let us replace this wedge bond with a dash line. Okay. So whenever I replace with wedge band with dash line, okay, the orientation of OH changes. Okay. Now let us arrange this in a plane. Let us rotate it, okay, in a along with the plane of the x-axis. Now if you observe, okay, this OH bond come to the bottom side, which is away from the plane. Okay, so it is when we compare this representation to the wedge representation, which is completely opposite to the wedge type of representation. Okay, so along with the z axis, okay, this OH molecule is there, so which is away from the plane of the surface, okay, which is away from the viewer, okay, almost backward to the. Okay, so in the example of 2-hydroxybutane, so the wedge bond of hydroxy functional group, okay, always represent the orientation of that OH molecule is towards the plane of the surface or towards the viewer. Okay, so in bird's eye view, it is represented very much clearly here. Okay, so if you replace that wedge bond with a dash bond, okay, again the OH molecule orientation is changed, which is away from the surface of the screen or surface of the plane, which is almost the backwards, okay, away from the viewer, okay, not towards the viewer. Okay, wedge bond represent the molecule or atom towards the viewer, okay, and dash band represent the atoms away from the viewer or out of the plane of the surface. Okay, and normal solid line represent either wedge type of arrangement or dash type of arrangement. Okay, second type of projection is called Newman projections. Okay, so in this projection, out of the 2 carbon atoms present in ethane, okay, let us take the example of ethane. So in this projection, out of the 2 carbon atoms present in ethane, one which is nearer is shown as a dot, whereas the near carbon atom is represented as a circle. Okay, so if you take any Newman projection, one of the carbon present in the main skeleton, one of the carbon which is either front carbon or back carbon, okay, always the back carbon is represented as a circle and the front carbon represented as a dot. Okay, so the 3 hydrogen atoms attached to each carbon atom are represented with the help of 3 lines bulging out of the circle. So remaining functional groups are remaining atoms like hydrogens or methane groups or any other groups, okay, which are attached to these 2 carbon atoms represented with the lines, okay, which are bulging out of the circle. Okay, so if we observe this Newman projections, there are 2 types of conformation that we observe, or 2 types of arrangement that we can observe. Okay, the first one is called eclipsed conformation and the second one is called staggered conformation. In eclipsed conformation, 2 atoms are groups whose dihedral angle is 0 degrees. So whenever 2 atoms or groups comes to near to each other, where the dihedral angle between these 2 groups or atoms are 0, then the whatever the conformation that we get is called eclipsed conformation. Okay, in other words, their bonds to the axis of rotation are aligned. Okay, aligned nothing but they are in the same line. So whatever the conformation that we get is called eclipsed conformation. Second type of conformation is called staggered conformation. Okay, in the staggered conformation, two atoms or groups whose dihedral angle is 60 degrees or close to 60 degrees. Okay, so whenever we rotate eclipsed conformation whose dihedral angle is 0, okay, whenever we rotate one of the carbon atom to 0 to 60 degrees angle, okay, then whatever the conformation that we get is called staggered conformation. In other words, their bonds to the axis of rotation are not aligned. Okay, now there when we rotate one of the carbon atom, the alignment of the atoms will be disturbed. Okay, and whatever the conformation that we get is called staggered conformation. Okay, so if you take the example of propane, so this is a practice. Okay, write the conformation structures, both staggered and eclipsed structures of propane by following that. Okay, let me explain this Newman projection through Chem 3D software. Okay, so Newman projections. So let us take the example of ethane. Okay, so ethane is nothing but two carbons are there. Okay, each carbon are attached to 3 hydrogens. So let us attach 3 bonds, each with two carbon atoms. Okay, and with each bond let us attach one of the hydrogens. So like for one carbon 3 hydrogens, to the other carbon another 3 hydrogens. Okay, hydrogen. Okay, here another hydrogen. Okay, now it is C2H6 ethane. Okay, this is nothing but, okay, let us write the name here, ethane. Okay, C2H6. Now let us understand the Newman structure of this ethane just by rotating this molecule. Okay, along the plane. Now all 3 hydrogens of 2 carbons are aligned. Okay, so the dihedral angle between these 2 hydrogen atoms are 0 because they are aligned. So this type of conformation is called eclipsed conformation. Now let us rotate in another planes. Okay, but here as this molecule is symmetric, okay, eclipsed conformation only we will get here. So in order to get staggered conformation, then let us write the structure of another molecule. Okay, let us take tetramethyl butane. Okay, butane means 4 carbon atoms are there. Okay, so the 3 methyl groups are attached to one of the carbon atoms. Let us write here CH3s. In the place of hydrogens, all hydrogens are replaced with the CH3 methyl groups here now. CH3. Okay, so this we can call as 2,3 tetramethyl butane. Okay, 2,3 tetramethyl butane. Okay, so in order to understand the both eclipsed and staggered conformation here, so let us rotate this molecule along with 180 degrees rotation or 360 degree rotation. So we'll get eclipsed type of conformation because all methyl groups are in the same alignment and the dihedral angle is 0. So let us rotate further 180 degrees angle. Again we will get the same type of eclipsed conformation only. Okay, now let us change the angle. Okay, along with the y-axis let us rotate it. Okay, only for 60 degrees. Now we will get the staggered conformation. All the methyl groups are present in the middle of the carbon atoms. Okay, So whatever we get, if we rotate along with 60 degrees angle, we will get the staggered conformation here. See here, there is no alignment of methyl groups are there. Again further increasing rotation from 60 to 180, again they are aligned, again we got the eclipsed. Okay, so this is staggered and this is eclipsed. Again if you rotate, you will get the same eclipsed only. Okay, so like that, the rotation of molecules. Okay, what we have to observe here in this modeling, I am rotating all carbon atoms in a same manner. Okay, but if you rotate only one of the carbon, okay, by keeping another carbon as stable, then we will get the staggered type of conformation easily. But here, while I am rotating this entire molecule, all the atoms are rotating. Okay, so now eclipsed conformation. Okay, so like that we will get the staggered and eclipsed conformation, which is explained by this 3D molecular modeling. Okay, next projection method are called Sahar's projections. Okay, so in this kind of projection, the bond between carbon atom is shown as a long straight line. The lower end of the line designates the front carbon atom, whereas the upper end designates the rear carbon atom. Since each carbon atom in ethane is attached to 3 hydrogen atoms, each carbon atom has 3 lines attached designating CH bonds inclined at an angle of 120 degrees to each other. Okay, so instead of wedge and dash kind of models or Newman models, here the carbon atoms are represented with like a long straight line. Okay, so the lower end of the line designates the front carbon. Okay, and the upper end of the carbon represent the rear carbon atom. Okay, and all other CH bonds inclined to an angle of 120 degrees of each other. Okay, that type of conformation is called Sahar's projection. Okay, so again, like Newman projection, here also you will get the same eclipsed and staggered conformations. So where the dihedral angle of atoms are 0 in eclipsed conformation, and in staggered conformation the dihedral angle is 60 degrees. Okay, so the Sahar's projection is the representation of a molecule from an oblique angle. It is therefore similar to the wedge and dash representation. So just by observing the Sahar's projection, like it is almost similar to wedge and dash representation, where we can easily understand which atoms are actually present on the plane and which atoms are away from the plane of the surface. Okay, and which atoms are towards the plane of the surface or towards the viewer. That we can easily understand just by looking into this Sahar's projection. So that's why it is almost similar to the wedge and dash representation. How these representation are related with each other. So relationship among the above projections, above wedge and Newman projections. Okay, so let us take the example of propane. So here if we draw the structure of propane in wedge and dash method, so remember the hashes are in the backwards and the wedges are out of the page. Okay, forward. Okay, always remember wedge is nothing but forward. Okay, dashes or hashes represent the backwards. Okay, whenever we look the molecules, okay, from one of the carbon atoms, okay, like from view from the left side and view from the right side. Okay, so depending upon the perception viewer angle of our eye, okay, we can also write this structure into Newman projections. Like when we viewed from the left angle, so the methyl group on the back of the carbon and to the right, and when we viewed from the right, the methyl group on the front carbon and to the left. Okay, so that's how we can, just by rotating or just by looking from front side or from the left side to right side, we can convert these wedge dash representation to Newman representations. So we can also represent the relationship between these two structure based on the conformations, like eclipsed and staggered conformation that are represented in this picture. Okay, if we draw the structure of ethane here, okay, the two carbon atoms are there represented by 1 and 2. Okay, so here the wedge bonds represented which are attached to the hydrogen atoms, which are forward towards the weir. Okay, the hydrogen atoms are attached to this carbon by dash line, which are backwards, which are away from the weir. Okay, so when it is also similar to the Saar's position, where the first carbon is towards the weir, the second carbon is in the back rear position. Okay, so which is also can be easily converted into a Newman projection. The first carbon is like a dot, and the rear carbon like a circle in Newman projection. So whenever we rotate these hydrogens into 60-degree angle, okay, so this rotation is always only with the rear carbon atoms only. Okay, we have to just rotate the rear carbon atoms along 60 degrees angle, then the eclipsed conformation is converted into staggered conformation, that we also can write into like Saar's projection and Newman projections also. Okay, so how can we convert Newman projections and bond line structures? So let us draw the structure of an organic molecule into a Newman projection here. Okay, so in these organic molecules there are two carbon atoms are there. So one carbon atom is represented as dot, second carbon atom is represented as a circle. So the first front carbon atom is attached to one hydroxy group, one methyl group and one ethyl group, and the second rear back carbon, which is represented as a circle, which is attached to one methyl group, one chloro and one bromo group. Okay, so if we observe this molecule from an angle, okay, from the front side, okay, we can observe that there are hydroxy groups, and hydroxy group which is attached to the front carbon atom, and methyl group which is attached to the rear carbon atom. Both are away from the weir. Okay, so whatever the functional groups are away from the weir are represented by the dash bonds. Okay, and if you observe another functional group where the methyl group is attached to first carbon atom, and the chlorine group attached to the second carbon atom. Okay, one is top left, another one is bottom right. Both these groups are visible, clearly visible to the viewer, so they are along with the plane. So whatever the functional groups or whatever the atoms are arranged along with the plane, they are generally represented by a solid line. Okay, and another group like ethyl group, which is attached to the front carbon atom, and the bromine group attached to the rear carbon atom. They are towards the weir, okay, which come forward to the weir, so the weir can easily see these two functional groups. Okay, so these functional groups are represented in a wedge bond type of model. So that's how we can convert how we are looking the molecule. Okay, so whenever we look the molecules, okay, we represent all the atoms which are away from the weir with the dashed bonds, and the functional groups which are towards the weir, they can be represented by a wedge bond. Okay, and the functional groups which are along with the plane of the surface, which are generally represented by a solid line. Okay, so now there are some problems are there. Okay, so you have to convert these structures into these Newman projections into wedge bond line structures. Okay, so this is your assignment, practice these problems. Okay, again remember here, whatever the molecules which are away from the weir, they are represented by dash lines. Okay, the functional groups are atoms which are towards the weir, they are represented by a wedge type of bond, and the atoms are functional group which are along with the plane of the surface, they are generally represented by a solid line. Okay, so fourth kind of projections are called Fisher projections. So the Fisher projection represents every stereocenter as a cross. Okay, so the horizontal lines represent bonds extending out of the plane of the page, whereas the vertical line represents bonds extending into the plane of the page. Okay, so in Fisher projections, okay, all the atoms that are attached to the carbon atoms, okay, represented either with vertical lines or with horizontal lines. Okay, so we will get generally a cross like structure here. So the cross represent the stereocenter here, and all atoms are arranged to this either to the horizontal line or with the vertical lines. Okay, so whenever we see any three-dimensional molecule, okay, so whatever the molecules which are generally represented either with the wedge bond or with the dashed bonds, okay, so they are generally either away from the plane of the surface or towards the plane of the surface or towards the viewer. Okay, so whatever the atoms are arranged attached to with this either with the wedge or dashed bonds, okay, so those atoms will be arranged on a horizontal line. Okay, and remaining atoms are arranged on a vertical line. Okay, so that's how we can convert any wedge type of structure into Fisher projection. Okay, so the horizontal line represents the bonds extending out of the plane. Okay, so the bonds which are out of the plane will be represented on horizontal line, and the bonds which are represent along with the plane of the page on a vertical line. Okay, so the Fisher projection devised by Emil Fisher in 1891 is a two-dimensional representation of three-dimensional organic molecule just by projection. So if you want to write any three-dimensional structure on a paper, then this Fisher projection that we can follow. So Fisher projections were originally proposed for the depiction of carbohydrates and used by chemists, particularly in organic chemistry and biochemistry. So most of the organic molecules, especially carbohydrates and other biochemical molecules, most of these organic molecules are represented by these Fisher projections. Okay, for example, diglyceraldehyde. If you observe the structure of diglyceraldehyde, so there are three carbon atoms are there. So the aldehyde and alcohol are arranged on a vertical line, and hydrogen and hydroxy group are arranged on a horizontal line. It means, okay, the CH2OH and aldehyde functional groups are on the plane of the surface. Okay, along with the plane of the surface, and the hydroxy group and hydrogen group, these are generally either away or towards the plane of the surface. So that's why they are put on a horizontal line. So here some practical problems are given. So some illustration are given here. This illustration demonstrating the connections between dash wedge diagram and Newman projection and Fisher projection. So we can convert all these Newman projections into wedge dash projection, which can also converted into Fisher projections. Okay, so this illustration also indicates the importance of rotating staggered molecules into an eclipsed conformation if they are to be projected as Fisher diagrams. Okay, so just by rotating the staggered molecules into eclipsed conformation, okay, so if you know which molecules are away from the plane, or which molecules or which atoms are either away from the plane or towards the plane of the surface, so they can be right on a horizontal line. Okay, and which atoms or which functional groups along with the plane, they can be represented on a vertical line. So like that we can convert any type of projection, any kind of, like even wedge dash line projection to Newman projection, Newman projection to Fisher projection, even from wedge dash projection to Fisher projection. So like that, just by rotating or just by looking into the bond types, we can convert both Newman and wedge dash projections into Fisher projections. Okay, so here are some practical problems are there. So solve these problems, practice yourself, convert all these projections into respected no solutions. Okay, do these problems. Okay, so if you have any doubt, contact me through my mail or WhatsApp. Okay.